If the rumors are true, if the next Islam Makhachev fight is against Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title, the UFC is officially a joke. It's ran by clowns. Dana White's a clown. The matchmakers are a clown. All clownery. Exile them from the organization. Let's go ahead and throw Dana White into the sun. UFC used to be the organization that would pride itself on having its fighters fight the best. The best always fought the best. Dana White would say time and time again, oh, we're different than boxing. We never shield our star champions. We make the best fight the best. We don't protect nobody. Our champions are gonna fight the most deserved, highly skilled, ranked contenders. For a while, the UFC was pretty consistent in doing that. Although, there are a little bit hiccups. Sean O'Malley defending his title against Chito Vera. John Jones fighting Stipe. There are this bullshit, but it's not the WWE. We still got hope. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you, give up on hope. There is no more hope. The UFC is ran by clowns because apparently there's some scheming going about with slimy rat manager Ali. Y'all don't know who that is? That is the manager of Islam. I believe he also manages Big Ink, Magomed. I think he manages Justin Gaethje, and I know for a fact he manages Kamaru Usman. So there's a reason why he keeps pushing for Usman versus Islam. And let me be the first to say, we don't want this. Kamaru Usman does not deserve a title shot in the big year of 2026. In this beautiful, blessed year of 2026, Kamaru Usman does not deserve a title shot. He's 1-3 in his last fucking 4 fights. He beat Buckley. Mind you, fantastic win. I will not take that away. I know some people are trying to be like, oh, Buckley sucks, or Usman this, Usman. Usman beating Buckley is a fantastic win, especially where he's at in his career. He was a dominant champion, 15-fight win streak, the second biggest win streak in UFC history besides Islam and Anderson Silva, but we will surpass that soon, don't worry. But Kamaru Usman, easily top 15 fighters of all time. On paper, it does sound cool. Islam versus Kamaru Usman. You got two fantastic welterweights, two legends, two people who are pretty dynamic in their styles. Like Kamaru Usman does have good striking and good wrestling. Obviously, the same could be said for Islam, but Islam, I think most people would agree, is a way better grappler than Kamaru Usman. It's still an interesting stylistic matchup, let alone the fucking name value. You got Kamaru Usman, one of the greatest of all time, fighting Islam, the modern day GOAT. I understand the appeal. I understand the optics, the politics of the whole thing. Kamaru Usman is he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, and you're gonna give him a title shot. I'm so sorry. We don't grant title shots for people who broke a 3-fight losing streak for beating a young contender. Beating Buckley is a great win, and it puts you in conversation for a title elimination bout. Kamaru should have been fighting fucking JDM or a returning Shavkat. Let's get Kamaru one more meaty ass good win, and then we can talk about fighting for the title. 1-3 beating Buckley for Islam's legacy. They're just gonna. I already know the narrative. Oh my god, I already know the narrative. Islam is the one fighter in UFC history that has the most asterisks of every single achievement in his career. He's got. The haters are winning. The haters love dissecting. Oh, you beat Volk? Robbery. Oh, you beat Volk twice? The second one's a 1-week notice. You beat Dustin? Dustin sucks. He's old. He's washed. You beat Moicano? Days notice. You beat JDM? Oh, he was actually trash the whole time. His 18-fight win streak, not impressive. You just laid on him. JDM sucks too, so you suck. It's like, what? Now, granted, I think most smart people don't have that opinion, but the loudmouths that do judge or critique Islam's record, they say shit like that, and I understand there is some merit to some of the critiques. Like, yes, him knocking out Volk, although obviously impressive because it's the first person to ever knock out Volk. Yes, Volk was fucking fat, drinking, came off the couch. It was a 1-week notice. I understand that win does have some handicaps to it. The Dustin win is always going to be a good win. I don't care. If Khabib's greatest win is Dustin, beating Dustin is always going to look good. I don't care how far he is into his career. it's always going to look good. The only fight Dustin ever looked washed in was his very last fight against Max Holloway. He did look a bit slower in the Islam fight, but he still looked like, I'm not going to say prime Dustin, but he looked like a killer. Like, he looked like he belonged in that fight. In the Max Holloway fight, I think the third one, the final one, his actual retirement fight, I visually saw, okay, Dustin is actually not only getting old, his heart's not in it. The stand and bang at the last 5-10 seconds in the final round, and you're going to wrestle, your heart's not in it. I understand. You're one of the GOATs. I love you, Dustin. Arguably the best fighter to never win a belt. I agree with that sentiment. The final fight, it was done. If you want to make the argument, oh, well, the fight before that was the Islam fight, so you're saying he just magically became washed versus unwashed? No, I just don't think Dustin looked bad in the fight against Islam. And mind you, looking back, it's really just that fight and the Volk fight where Islam was actually challenged. Every other fight, he's just smoking everybody. Besides, obviously, the knockout very early in his UFC career, Islam was really only challenged by Dustin, a veteran who, there are a few fighters in the UFC who age, not like wine, but like a rock. Like, they last in the game for so long, and they're in the top of the division for so long. I need y'all to understand how fucking impressive that is to do in a sport like MMA, where your body takes such a tax, such a toll on not just the fights, but the training camps, the weight cuts. To be at the top of your division as long as Dustin has, Max has, that is so fucking impressive. So yes, the version that Khabib beat Dustin, obviously more impressive, but the version that Islam beat, he was not ass, he was not trash. He beat BSD before that. And mind you, BSD's not the, most skilled fighter ever, but that win right now is aging like fine wine. Who I can't tell you any of the names BSD's beat, but I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. He beat he clipped the fuck Dariush, Benil Dariush. Decent win. And beating the other two guys prior to that, good. That win that Dustin clipped, because I think BSD only lost his first fight and the Dustin fight. No, oh my god, I forgot he got fucking, oh my god, Moicano touched BSD. I forgot about that. That's not helping my argument, because how do you make fucking Moicano look like prime Khabib? Oh my god. Well, either way, BSD is doing something right, because he actually looks pretty good in his recent fights. I don't think it's going to last too long. He's obviously never going to win the belt. Clip that if he wins the belt. But Dustin looked solid. Dustin looked good against Islam, and Islam choked his ass out round 5. Should he have done it earlier? Sure. I'm not going to pull out the whole Islam had staff, because then you'll pull out, oh, Dustin had no hips. I understand the politics. I get the semantics. Semantics. I get the optics. Only Islam gets nitpicked. You could nitpick every single fighter in the UFC, and the most perfect career will have cracks if you force it to have cracks. Not force it, but if you study the minute details and just nitpick and try to pull apart. Ilya, undefeated. What is he, 18-0, beat Volk, Holloway, Charles Oliveira back to back. What's considered by many, especially New Age fans, to be the greatest back wins of all time. All by knockout. Perfect. Ilya has a perfect resume. Besides being undefeated, he's killing top level competition. Let's nitpick it. He beat Volk. You can say he didn't beat a prime Volk, because 3 months prior to him knocking out Volk, Volk was already knocked out by Islam Makhachev. Islam knocked him out round 1 because Volk came off the couch and was fucking fat, and he got head kicked, boom, headshot, dead. Obliterated. That was a horrible Leon Edwards accent. Volk came back, chin extremely compromised, more than usual, gets fucking slept, cold, dead, headshot, dead. Round 2 by Ilya. Max Holloway fight, probably the most difficult to criticize, because he actually knocked out Max Holloway, which is what cemented Ilya as like, oh, this guy's the actual fucking demon. Because yes, Ilya has always looked good in all of his fights. He's knocking out people, he's submitting people, but to knock out the one guy who everyone went to as, oh, granite chin, Max Holloway's never been knocked out. Max Holloway has the strongest chin of all time. Prior to fighting Justin Gaethje, Holloway's never even been fucking dropped. And you knock him out. Something we've never seen before. I cried. I was heartbroken when I saw that bullshit live. I was in the Buffalo Wild Wings with my stepbrother, and when we saw Ilya commit the terrorist attack and knocked out the greatest fighter of all time, Max Holloway, I audibly yelled out no, and I did not speak for 20 minutes. So I understand how goated of a win Ilya did there, but you can, if you want to be a nitpicky fucking little punk, you can say, oh, well, Max is human and he has absorbed more fights than anybody. Literally, statistically, he has absorbed the most significant strikes by far, bar none. Max Holloway gets fucking hit a lot. And that's what made his chin so impressive, because you would see him get fucking rocked. Well, not rocked. He would get hit by haymakers, by crazy ass shots. And he's still moving. He doesn't even drop. He just backs up a little bit, regains his momentum, and goes back in there. But like I said, you can argue like, oh, well, it was eventually going to crack. Yes, Ilya has power, but he just went to the well that was already cracked and he just gave it a little nudge. He couldn't do that to Max 5 years ago. Unfortunately, I'm the biggest Max fan of all time. He would have always knocked him out. Maybe a bit longer. If you want to argue, maybe around 4, he would have found Max's chin, because Max's biggest weakness is his fucking defense. You don't have good defense if you have the most significant strikes fucking landed on you. He was always going to find that chin. He was always going to crack it. In fact, I'm surprised Max Holloway, again, my favorite fighter, I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. Round 1, he was tanking massive shots. I was like, oh my God. Dude, watching that fight live, fucking horror movie. Nothing has scared me more since. Not The Shining, not the first Alien. It was UFC 308. I think it was 308. Nightmare. I don't want to remember. And if you want to criticize the win against Charles had no chin. Obviously, he was going to get dropped. He gets dropped in every fucking fight. Now we just have to sleep him. It's like, dude, you can nitpick any fight. You can say John Jones fought overweight middleweights. You can say Anderson fought cans, even though he fought Forrest Griffin and Henderson. But no, they're all cans. They didn't know how to fight. Nobody knew how to fight MMA until 2016. Everyone else prior to that, horrible. The fan base. Oh my God. And again, I reiterate, a lot of these do have merit. There is some credit to saying Anderson Silva fought Kanzi, because if you look at the records of some of these people he's fought, at the time, they were bad. They were bad at the time, and they obviously just aged worse. But there are some wins where it's like, that is extremely impressive. Islam has the chance to officially surpass, and I know it's crazy to say officially because this is all subjective, but it's really not, though, because you can look at achievements. Most people consider GSP, John Jones, DJ, all top 5. Islam should be in that top 5 conversation. I think most people consider him top 5, besides maybe like some fucking old heads who have like Fedor as top 1. But most intelligent human beings have Islam top 5, top 3, to be honest. He needs a final, amazing legacy win. Kamaru Usman dominated Buckley. Great win. Pretty good contender. We all thought Buckley was going to beat him. That does not make the Buckley win fucking rewrite everything and think, oh man, Usman's going to be the one to beat Islam. No. Especially in the welterweight division right now, which is the greatest division at this moment. Welterweight is filled with killers, and you're going to feed Kamaru Usman, 37 years old or some shit like that, 1-3, ranked number 8. You're gonna give him a title shot? They're just gonna say he fought an old man. They're just gonna say he fought an old man, even though he fucking beat Buckley. They're just gonna say he fought an old man. And I could low-key see that argument. Solidify Usman. Make him fight Shavkat. Make him fight JDM. Get him one more great win. Something solid. If Sean Brady doesn't move down, even though Sean Brady got bitched by Michael Morales, we all know Sean Brady's a great grappler. Maybe there could be some hype with Usman fighting Brady. I know Brady's been talking about moving to fucking lightweight since Morales destroyed him, but that could be an interesting fight. I think the best fight to make at welterweight would be Usman versus Shavkat. Whoever wins in that fight should fight Islam. Mind you, I'm thinking fighting Islam in the latter half of the year. I do think Ian Gary at this point does deserve the title shot, unfortunately. It would actually be pretty interesting because Ian Gary is very good at range management, at distant management. That would be interesting to see. And his grappling is pretty decent, but obviously we do know Islam would destroy Ian Gary. I do think that there would be very, I'll just say, unique moments in that fight. And regardless, we should award achievements and not star power. And even then, Ian Gary is a pretty decent name in the welterweight division. But Ian Gary, right now, deserves it more than anybody. At this point, that is true. Islam should fight Ian Gary like fucking April or some shit. That being said, let's say he beats Ian Gary. If Islam's next fight is Ian Gary, which it should be, and it should be in a few months, I can see Islam thinking, good win. You're beating someone who barely became not undefeated, right? He suffered his first loss to Shavkat, someone who had a 100% finish rate. So Ian Gary's a great win to whoever beats him. I can see Islam thinking, this was a good win. It's not the staple I want to end my career on. I need one more big one. Maybe like a fucking Ilya at 170. Or just a welterweight killer. And there are so many options. If he beats Ian Gary, I don't see him retiring. I hope to God he does not retire. I hope we just give us one more. One more and we'll do it right. If you want it to be Kamaru Usman, which I can see why it should be, let's just solidify it. Make Usman fight not someone rising up the ranks, but make Usman fight someone who is top 5 right now, who has proven time and time again, this guy's actually pretty dangerous. The best fucking win Usman could get right now, besides the champion, is not Bilal. It would have been a Bilal, but Ian Gary already beat him. It would be Shavkat. Shavkat sits out, yes, but first of all, beating anyone who's undefeated already looks amazing, just optics-wise, right? Shavkat had a 100% finish rate prior to beating Ian Gary. He has been untouched and a literal killer. He knows how to grapple. He knows how to strike. He is a dynamic, competent, smart fighter when he's in the cage. If Usman beats him, I think most people would be excited to see him fight Islam at that point. It would make sense. There would be a lot of hype around it. You got one of the greatest welterweights of all time coming back from a 3-loss losing streak to not only beat Buckley, but to really cement it by beating a fucking undefeated killer like Shavkat. Now we're in talks for GOAT versus GOAT. Now we can see Islam versus Kamaru Usman. Now we're hyped. Now we're like, oh shit. Bro, let's say Usman does good against Shavkat's grappling. I know Shavkat grapples way differently than Islam. I know Islam is the most dangerous grappler in that division. Only one that may be on his level is Sean Brady. But still, optics-wise, and not even just optics, because that sounds bad faith. That sounds like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If Kamaru Usman beats Shavkat either strongly, decisively, or best case scenario finishes him, there is a fight there. Beating Buckley after losing twice to Leon and putting up a decent fight against Hamza but still losing, there's no hype. It's just an old man we see. Even though I know he beat Buckley, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. He's got to do something more. He's got to staple it. I would have a similar critique against Umar. Umar beat Batista, great win. Figgy's the next fight to get you back in the title shot? Figgy hasn't looked like himself in years, to be honest, especially in his last few fights. Figgy was once a great, was especially at flyweight, but in bantamweight, it's kind of iffy. It's going to be a fun fight for sure. Umar's going to fucking blitz him. Umar is going to 30-27 Figgy, and it's like, Figgy should have been, I don't know what to do at bantamweight, because Song versus Sean does make sense. Umar, who would have Umar fought? Maybe the loser of Sean versus Song? I don't know. But I just don't think Figgy's the proper bounce back after a bounce back. We gotta convince the fans that the UFC rewards achievement, rewards skill, rewards the ranking system. Number 8 in no world should be fighting for a fucking belt. Alex beating Roundtree, one of the greatest fights of 2024. That championship was a fucking joke. That fight, as happy as I am that it happened, which I know is going to be Dana White's argument. Oh, but you had fun though. You liked it, didn't you? No shit, I liked it. But it still shouldn't have happened. Roundtree should have not fought for a belt at that point. It should have been Big Ank. Even though that fight was boring, it still should have happened. We should reward fighters who fight and win. It just makes it more authentic. It makes it more believable that the champion we're seeing is the true champion who has earned their way to the top, who has beaten everybody. This guy is fucking dangerous. He's strong. He is the most capable fighter in his division. Islam should not be fighting Usman next until Usman solidifies one more great win. In the meantime, he could fight Ian Gary. Ian Gary's proven more than Usman right now. Right now he has. I don't want to hear about prior 2023. Right now, Usman has a better argument than... No. Right now, Ian Gary has a better argument than Kamaru Usman. That's just facts. I'm sorry. That's just facts. Kamaru Usman's top 15 of all time. Ian Gary's currently on a better run than Kamaru Usman. It is what it is. Islam should fight Ian Gary. And I think they're thinking about doing like a Carlos Prates versus JDM. Again, bro, these welterweights... Sean Brady fought Michael Morales. These welterweights are passing Usman on... arguments for the argument of getting the belt, and Usman's just sitting around like a fucking chud, just like, man, I'm a problem. I need the belt. Get your fat ass in the ring, in the octagon, and show out. All your fucking peers are showing out. Everyone in the welterweight division is so active. That's what I fucking love. Besides Shafkat, that's why I fucking love it. And Colby, fuck Colby, clown. Why is he still ranked? Who knows? Who knows? God. I just thought of Colby being ranked and it's a joke. Well, either way, I think I've said what I wanted to say on why I think Kamaru Usman should not be fighting Islam next, even though it does have potential. There is potential for that fight to actually mean something. Right now, it's a joke. And currently, Dana White is must have gone to clown college or some shit because he loves jokes. He loves making Arman sit out and have Justin fight Patty of all people. If we want to talk about matchmaking problems, Patty beating Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green gets you a shot at the interim belt. Okay. So, you know, we're all Diego Lopez versus Volk again. I love jokes. Oh, I love jokes. I love comedy. Dana White's the matchmakers are so funny. I love humor. What's happening to my sport? What's happening to the game I love? If I sound a little nasally or dehydrated, I legitimately have bronchitis. I got it in Colorado with my girlfriend over the last week or two. Well, she doesn't have it, thank God. But yeah, I'm a bit sick. I'm taking medicine. I have bronchitis, and I'm yelling because I fucking hate Dana White and the matchmakers. But I'm healing, and I don't sound as bad as I did. Who gives a fuck? I'm a YouTuber, and I may come off as negative Nancy. I know. I will make my next video be much more optimistic and cheerful. I will be predicting my UFC champions at the end of 2026. And I guarantee you that is going to be probably 100% prediction rate. That's going to be a banger. I'm going to be 100% right. Solid prediction rate, 10 out of 10. Put your money on the line. Put the house on the parlay. Put the Hyundai Elantra on the parlay. Anyways, thank you for hearing me rant again. I will see you at the next one.